Hey, see you later, Joe.
All right.
I think we first knew something was going on with my dad's brain when he texted in a group text my entire family.
This is a picture of normal ventricles.
My sister, my girlfriend, my mom are all in this text, and he texts the words, Shiley Woodley nude.
And then this is a picture of somebody with hydrocephalus.
And we realized, oh yeah, he thinks he's Googling.
This is me over here, and you can see that the shape is much closer to this.
So just to like make him feel better, because I have my dad's back, I texted back, Sofia Vergara feet.
There's little doubt that I had hydrocephalus.
Good for him. My dad, 70, still got it. He just wants to see some tits. It's great. I'm for it.
That's how I see it. I like smart. Hey, see you later, Joe.
All right.
Okay, see you later. See you later.
It's gonna be fine.
Where are you flying out to this morning?
I'm going to Sacramento. My dad's getting brain surgery.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain, because this is a little different than most of my videos. I actually shot this a year and a half ago, before COVID, and I couldn't bring myself to finish it because it was just too raw at the time. So my plan is, when I get home, is I'm gonna interview my dad. For the last 6 months, he's been researching normal pressure hydrocephalus. He's been poring over all the data from his scans.
I got the CD for the second MRI.
I gave it to you on a CD?
DVD.
A DVD. Well, that's much more technologically advanced. And great, he's becoming a cyborg. I think that's really cool. I'm trying not to think about the scary aspect of it, because it's brain surgery and it's my dad. My dad was having balance issues and motor function problems, and there was a surgery involving sticking something in his brain that had the chance to fix it.
I'm excited.
That's crazy. Who's excited about brain surgery?
I know, but when you look at the alternative, if I don't do it, I just go like this. That's not an option for me.
So this is a video about something we will most likely face, which is making major health decisions, and we're maybe not educated enough to really be trusted with that. And we are faced with balancing the risk versus reward, and it's a very personal choice. His mind was made up. I was really just there to try to keep the mood light and the stress levels low.
Surgeries early in the day are more successful than surgeries late. So,
Because the doctors are less drunk.
Alzheimer's disease affects 1 in every 14 people over age 65 and 1 in every 6 people over 80. Normal pressure hydrocephalus is estimated to affect around 700,000 people in the US, but it could be much more because it's often misdiagnosed as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's.
and there are Parkinson's patients that have had enlarged ventricles as well, so they've got a comorbidity, and they will have a shunt put in, and it will help them.
The blue areas are fluid-filled spaces called ventricles, which circulate this stuff called cerebral spinal fluid. Sometimes there's a blockage, or your body stops absorbing the fluid fast enough, and the ventricles start to expand.
Okay, so imagine this balloon is a ventricle. It's about the same size as the ventricles in your brain, but if they were to fill up, you can imagine as it fills up, the rest of your brain has to compensate for this size, and it pushes your brain against your skull and compresses it, and that's where all the symptoms come from. So what they do with these shunts is they stick it in. This is not the best example.
They cut open your head, they drill through your skull, they put a tube through your brain into the ventricles, and then they drain out the excess fluid down a tube into your stomach, where your body just absorbs it.
In order to get the thing into where it needs to go, don't they have to like puncture through some brain tissue?
That's my guess. I don't know.
But they're gonna have to like destroy some neurons.
They must have to go through brain.
Probably just gonna go straight through the part of his brain that is responsible for his capacity to love me. It's no big deal.
It's like a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
But hey, no, look, you can lose some brain and be fine.
The memories are really stored in multiple places.
Yeah.
So if you destroy one place,
The memory is fine because the
you-
pattern it can still fire generally. So like 90% of that memory, or 99% of that memory
is retained.
is retained.
That's the way I understand it as well.
So they stick it in there, they Capri Sun you up, and then do they put some spackle on that? Like, do you just have a hole with like a baby's soft spot on your head? Or do they stick a little plastic putty in there? Like what, do they harden it up? What goes down?
I don't know.
I mean, you'd think that they would just tell you because
They probably don't want to freak you out. They don't know who we are. They don't know that I'm a scientific geek
yeah.
and that I like to know all this stuff. I think for the average patient, it would freak them out.
It's a pretty simple concept. They're like, there's too much liquid in the brain. What if we got that liquid out of the brain? That's like as complicated as it is. This ain't Neuralink. There are no microchips, no mRNA, no Wi-Fi. Bummer. Hey, sometimes low tech is the best tech. I'm so relieved whenever I go into a public restroom and I don't have to wave my hand over the sensor. I just pull on the paper towel and the next one comes out. It's mechanical. It's worked since the 80s. That's the kind of technology my dad is getting. He's essentially getting the equivalent of an 80s bathroom towel dispenser in his head.
It's a big decision. Your mom and I have agonized over it for a long time, but it's a quality of life thing. You know, what is life if it's not quality? I'm anxious to get it done because I know how much I've gone downhill in 3 months. I can feel it.
This is why it's so personal. You're the only one that knows how you feel, and the tests could be inconclusive. There could be a lot of different things causing your symptoms. And a lot of doctors would just rather err on the side of do no harm. A lot of doctors want to just chalk this up to aging and not do anything for you. I was not supposed to be recording this, but here is the doctor basically trying to talk my dad out of getting the surgery. This is day of the surgery.
I'm doing this surgery at your insistence. Most neurosurgeons would tell you you're functioning too high for this surgery. Well, expanded ventricles are common with age. We don't know that they're pathologic. You have to think before 30, 20 years ago, people had these problems.
Right.
And they would have problems of aging, and everybody would just say, well, so-and-so is older now and doesn't walk as much or doesn't remember as well. And the kids go to them, they don't go to the kids, and the grandkids come or brought in their laps. That's what's happened. That's what used to happen. We are beyond that now. We want to function as we were when we were 20 as long as we can. But that's sometimes not completely realistic.
I think aging should legally be designated a disease. It would really improve the amount of funding that it would qualify for, and your insurance might pay for a lot more stuff as well. I'm doing a bunch of stuff like taking peptides for HGH production and NAD for cellular health, and those things are not covered by insurance right now. Jamie Meitzel wrote Hacking Darwin, and there's a big section in it where it talks about legally advocating for making age a disease. And I was lucky enough to have Jamie on the Knee of the Curve podcast and talk all about biohacking and his book Hacking Darwin, and I'll leave a link for that right up here. My grandpa had Parkinson's disease, and it was, back in the 80s, who knows, maybe it was misdiagnosed and it could have been normal pressure hydrocephalus. And now my dad has it. So this is one of the things that I'm gonna definitely have to look out for. And this is why I'm crossing my fingers for more of a cellular cure of aging at the core. And there could be a breakthrough soon. The research is looking really promising. Some Israeli scientists used highly oxygenated pressure chambers to actually lengthen the telomeres of your DNA. And this is a telltale sign of how old a cell is. And Dr. David Sinclair has used what's called Yamanaka factors to reverse aging and restore eyesight in mice. And Dr. George Church is also reversing aging in mice.
Aging reversal is something that's been proven about 8 different ways in animals. Why isn't this available? It is available to mice.
How sexy do these mice need to be before they try it on me? It'll be cool when you can just order up an age reversal on the internet and turn the clock back 30 years. But for now, all we can do is try and live healthy and take each adverse health event one at a time. My dad weighed the risks and he opted for surgery. All right, today's the day. We're about to take my dad into surgery. Looking good.
Good.
This looks space age.
This is nice and warm.
Nice. Is she a woman's driver? You don't mind, right?
No, it's fine. See you later, Jim.
All right.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to do anything about the terrible jokes.
Could call me Shuthead.
I wanted them to send him back in, but they don't do that. I'm just kidding. My dad can be pretty funny. Listen to what he said right after he woke up from surgery.
I gotta tell you, I feel more cogent. I feel like I'm thinking is clearer.
Already?
So Judy, it's really great.
Judy. My mom's name is Jill. Impeccable timing.
Huh?
Did we get the mail?
Did we get the mail? Get the fuck inside.
Hey.
Howdy.
Big reveal. You made it. You're alive.
That's a good thing.
The surgery was successful, but the question is, was it worth it?
Yeah, it was.
And why do you think?
Well, before the operation, I was only able to walk about half a mile on the bike trail.
And then what happened after half a mile?
I felt unstable and I was tired, and now I'm walking about 2 miles 3-4 times a week. And I can walk on uneven ground easily.
Were there any things that you were hoping that it was going to improve that you didn't notice any improvement on?
I had hoped I'd get feeling back in my legs, and that hasn't changed.
So because you noticed some difference with your walking, most likely it stopped any further damage.
Yes, that's my feeling, yes.
Have the ventricles gone back to normal, or are they still big?
I can see the CT scans have arrested the expansion of the ventricles, which gives me the warm fuzzies that less brain tissue is being scrunched. They're not down to normal, but they're not above when I had the shunt put in.
Good move, I guess, kind of going against the doctor's prescription.
Gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
That's right.
I would do it all over again, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully no more surgeries in the near future.
Hopefully.
I will see you soon.
All right, I'll look forward to the video.
Okay, bye.